Everyone wants to make money with SaaS, but here's what 95% of founders get completely wrong. They think building the product is the hard part. Meanwhile, I know guys who are pulling in 12,000 monthly recurring revenue from SaaS products they built in 2 weeks using tools they didn't even know existed 6 months ago. The difference isn't coding skills or venture capital. It's understanding 3 things that completely flip the traditional SaaS playbook on its head. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make money with SaaS even if you've never written a line of code in your life. Here's the brutal truth about making money with SaaS. Most people dive headfirst into building some revolutionary app, thinking they need to disrupt Slack or compete with Notion. 6 months later, they're broke, burned out, and wondering why nobody wants their brilliant idea. But that's not even the real problem. The real problem is they're trying to build the next unicorn instead of solving actual business problems. They're obsessing over features instead of revenue. They're building for everyone instead of someone specific. And here's the kicker. They think they need to be technical wizards to make it work. So they either spend months learning to code, or they blow their savings hiring developers, only to realize that building the product was never the bottleneck. The bottleneck is finding customers who will actually pay. That's why most SaaS products deal with zero revenue. But there's a completely different approach that most people never hear about. Instead of trying to build the next big thing, you focus on 3 specific elements that create profitable SaaS businesses in 30 days. First, you use AI tools to build production-ready products without coding. We are talking about Claude Code, Cursor, V0 tools that can literally generate working applications from simple descriptions. Second, you pick boring, profitable niche where businesses are already spending money on terrible solutions. And third, you treat customer acquisition like a science, not a guessing game. This isn't about hoping customers will find you. This is about building an audience and converting them from day one. Let me break down exactly how this applies to making real money with SaaS. Here's my framework for making money with SaaS without the typical headaches. Pillar 1, AI code. You're not learning JavaScript or hiring expensive developers. You're using artificial intelligence to build your minimum viable product fast. These tools can create databases, user interfaces, payment systems, everything you need for a functioning SaaS. Pillar 2, marketing first. Before you build anything, you identify your audience and start creating content. You're not launching into the void. You're building a list of potential customers who already know and trust you. Pillar 3, good niche selection. This is where most people fail catastrophically. They chase sexy markets instead of profitable ones. You want boring industries with outdated software and healthy budgets. Think dental practices, law firms, local contractors. These businesses have real problems and real money to solve them. The magic happens when all 3 pillars work together. If you want the full step-by-step breakdown of how to implement each pillar, I put together a free training link in the description. Let me give you something you can implement in the next 24 hours to start validating your SaaS idea. Pick one boring industry you already understand. Maybe it's restaurants because you worked in food service, or construction because your uncle's a contractor. Now spend 2 hours on Google searching for industry-specific software in that niche. Look for tools that look like they were built in 2010. Check their pricing. If they're charging more than $50 per month, that's your green light. Next, find 3 businesses in that industry and ask them one simple question. What's the most frustrating part of your current software setup? Don't pitch anything, just listen. You're not trying to sell today. You're trying to understand their pain points. Within 24 hours, you'll have more market insight than 90% of SaaS founders who build in isolation. This single exercise separates real opportunities from fantasy projects. The difference between successful SaaS founders and everyone else isn't coding ability. It's market research discipline. Here's why this approach actually works. I know a guy who built a scheduling tool specifically for veterinary clinics. Nothing fancy, just appointment booking with automated reminders. He used Claude Code to build the entire thing in 8 days. No coding background whatsoever. Within 3 months, he had 12 clinics paying him $200 per month each. That's $2,400 monthly recurring revenue from a product that solves one specific problem for one specific industry. Compare that to the typical approach, building a general scheduling app that competes with Calendly. He would need hundreds of users at $10 per month to match those numbers. Instead, he went narrow, went high ticket, and went profitable fast. The SaaS isn't just generating monthly revenue either. At 4 times annual revenue, which is standard for profitable SaaS companies, his business is worth over $100,000. That's the real secret to making money with SaaS. You're not building a side hustle, you're building a valuable asset. This is exactly what I walk through in my free training, link in the description. If you're serious about building a profitable SaaS without learning to code, click the link in the description to watch my free training. You'll see the complete roadmap, the tools I recommend, and the exact niches that are working right now. It's not theory, it's the practical blueprint for getting to your first $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Make sure to subscribe for more SaaS strategies and drop a comment below. What industry do you think has the biggest software problems? I read every comment and I'll give you my honest take on the opportunities I see.